Happy Wednesday. It's time for another What's She Making? And today we are going to be using our brand new translucent florals bundle and 2 sets of dies. We're going to be using the Radiating Stitches dies and the translucent floral dies. So before we get started, don't forget, you want to make sure that you are subscribed, that you join our weekly Buzz Bulletin email, because I email every week the tutorial, the written tutorial for free to each of you who are subscribed to my weekly Buzz Bulletin. So you can find that below, or you can also find that on stampinqueenbee.com for all the info. Okay, so let's get started. Let me move this out of the way. And we are going to use today some basic white. And we're going to start off with, of course, our thick basic white card base. And we're going to start off with our Radiating Stitches dies. So these dies are so great. I keep mine on these magnet sheets, so they're super easy to find. You don't lose them. And so we're going to use actually these 2 dies today. So let me put these to the side. And what we're going to do is I've already cut a layer, and we are going to run this through. So these 2 dies, we're going to run through at the same time. So we're going to just put those right on our card layer. We're going to run that through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And when we do, we are going to get, from the magic of TV, we're going to get these 2 pieces. So we're going to have this piece that we'll be able to use later on another project. And today we're going to use this piece here as a frame. So in order to do that, you have to make sure that you use both of the frames to cut out so that it cuts out this middle piece. And then we have this great one we can save for our next project. Okay, so we're going to start off with these 2 pieces, and we're going to start off with our stamp from our translucent florals bundle, the Wishing You All the Happiness in the World. So I'm going to bring in some Lost Lagoon here. I'm going to set my frame aside. We'll use that next. And this is just our thick basic white card base. So we're going to open up our Lost Lagoon. We're going to ink up our stamp here. Make sure it's nice and inked. And we are just going to stamp this kind of towards the top center. So we'll just go ahead and stamp that down. And there we have our Wishing You All the Happiness in the World. Okay, simple so far, right? Okay, now we're going to bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals. We're going to take that frame that we die cut, and we're going to put some dimensionals all along the 4 corners, and I like to put them in the middle too, just so that it doesn't sink or sag or anything. So we'll just go ahead and put those on. We'll remove those backings. I love these Radiating Stitches dies, because it just kind of gives that little and then some to these frames, right? With all these decorative lines, the stitching that it's got all the way around here, right? It just gives it a little bit of and then some. So we're just going to go ahead and center this frame onto our card base here. Easy peasy so far, right? So we just have our Wishing You All the Happiness in the World. We've got our popped up with dimensionals Radiating Stitches frame. So white on white. Okay, now my next tip for you today is, with any of your stamp sets, really, you could do this, is I keep inside just a little pocket inside. And what I do ahead of time is I just go through and stamp all the different stamps that I love in the set and die cut them. So whenever I'm kind of having like a creative block, I do a lot of this. And so I will take like this stamp here, and I stamped it in a whole bunch of different colors. I die cut them, and so I have them just ready to go in my stamp case So I never have to like keep track of these pieces. I just leave them right in the little envelope inside my stamp case. So we're gonna use some of those today. And so I've got some leaves. Let's see, we've got some purple flowers we will use. I love this bundle because they're distinctive stamps. And so you can really see all of the detail, right? In the leaves, in the stamps, like that is just one stamped image. So all of those details, the shadowing, the shading, that is all from the one stamp, which I love. So the same thing with some of our leaves here. Bring in maybe a couple other colors here of our flowers. Let's see what else we've got. And we even have these smaller flowers. See, we've just got all kinds of color options here. So this makes it nice when you have these kind of ready to go, because you just never know, right? What if you need to make a card real quick, if you want to throw something together, if you want to see if the stamps in the different colors go with a project, having them ready to go like that, oh gosh, it makes things so easy. So we're going to use some of our mini glue dots here, and we're just going to go ahead and put these images kind of all around on our card here. So I've got my mini glue dots, and let's start with this big flower here. So we're going to put just a few of our mini glue dots just on the back here. And so if you just kind of lay it onto, like here's a mini glue dot right here. If we just kind of lay our image on there, pull it up, the glue dot will then be on the back of your image. So we're just going to go ahead and start putting these all over. We're just going to layer a bunch of these. So some I'll use glue, some I'll use mini glue dots like I did there. We use some of our leaves here. Just put a little bit of that, kind of tuck that behind. So that one is a pool party one. And then this one here is that Lost Lagoon. So we'll grab that. Just add a tiny bit of glue there. We'll tuck that under. Now let's use a flower here. How about one of our bubble bath flowers? This one I'll put on with, let's see, a glue dot here, a mini glue dot. So the same thing, we'll just put that right behind, pop that right off. And this one will just kind of pop up on top of that leaf. Okay, so now let's bring in some other colors here. Let's see, do we want purple? Do we want some red? Or maybe some melon mambo here, kind of like that. So let's take a bit of glue here. We'll kind of tuck this one. I like to have some on top of my frame, some under my frame. It just kind of gives all that dimension, right? So we'll just go ahead and keep layering these. Let's see, I think let's do purple. And let's see, what color should we do next? Yeah, maybe a red one, huh? I like it. So add a bit of that. I think we need a few more leaves here, so we'll go ahead and put a few behind. There we go. And let's do a couple of our smaller flowers here. Maybe a purple one. There's no right or wrong place to put them. That's the best part, right? We just can kind of add them all over here. And I think the beauty of this is seeing all the different layers. Maybe some more flowers. Love these little ones. Maybe one leaf right here. So see, as we just get layering, 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 how those all go on so beautifully. I think we'll put a couple more. Maybe down here. Maybe even a pretty flirty flamingo one right down here. And we'll just finish it off with one more. We just kind of have this layering, layering, layering of all of these fun flowers, right? Love that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put our glue away here. Our extra pieces we haven't used. This is the beauty of this envelope system, is we just get to put them right back inside and stick that right back into our stamp case for the next card that we want to create, right? Ready to go. Fits in there so nice and smoothly. And there we have our card. So now you know we got to finish that off with a little bit of bling. So we're going to do a couple of bling things today. So I love these new tinsel gem packs. So we have a tinsel gem 3-pack and a tinsel gem 4-pack. And so I brought both since we have all kinds of colors. I thought we could just see what fits, right? So this one has some lemon lolly. It's got some pretty peacock. Let's see, some berry burst, lemon lime twist, all kinds of fun colors. So go ahead, let's see. Yeah, these go. So let's put a few of these. And actually, we're gonna kind of mix these. So grab a purple one here and put that right there. We'll get a couple of these fun green ones. Maybe three. Three looks good. So there we have our gems, our tinsel gems there with all our layering. And then one of my latest and greatest fun that I've been having is using our Wink of Stella to flick. So that's the technique, is the flicking. And so what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna have your Wink of Stella. Let me open this. There we go. Okay, so we've got our Wink of Stella. To get it going, you know, we just squeeze right here. So we'll squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We've got it coming out. You might even need to shake it a little bit. And then once we have squeezed it out, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the lid here. Hopefully you can see this, and we're just going to flick. So you can see we've got some kind of speckles that have come out from our flicking here. So we'll just go ahead and do that, kind of all over our card. I have loved this fun technique. So the Wink of Stella is like our glitter brush pen. You can of course color in with it. But what I love with this flicking technique is you can see it gives those little speckles, and each of those speckles is full of some glitter and some shine. So now that's just kind of all over our card. Just gives it a little bit of interest, a little bit of, and then some, little bit of fun, right? So we've got our bling, we've got our sparkles with our Wink of Stella, we've got our layering with our fun translucent florals, and our radiating stitches frame. I think that makes such a fun layer. How easy peasy, you don't have to cut or know any measurements. We just use the dies, and it just makes this beautiful card. So thanks so much for watching. If you want all of the tips, the measurements, the tutorial for free, just go ahead and subscribe to my weekly Buzz Bulletin. You can find that at stampinqueenbee.com, and I'll be happy to send those your way. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Wednesday.